How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, your homeboy, titty boy, back again with a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be covering a rumor for Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now, this rumor actually came out before the games were actually revealed, and a lot of people are assuming that it's actually a real rumor that, has been confirmed now as a leak. I wouldn't really confirm it as a leak just yet, because people were guessing. People were really guessing Sword and Shield ahead of time. I mean, there were even videos on YouTube of fake trailers for Sword and Shield ahead of time, because Sword and Shield weren't really that strange, strange of names. They were kind of guessable for a few people, so, just keep that in mind as you are listening to what I'm saying right now, because there is there were a lot of people guessing that ahead of time, but we're going to take a look at this rumor and see that, it does offer a lot of possibilities here. I'm going to be frankly honest. We've got a lot of things to go through, a lot of speculating, and but I do think there are a lot of things that are pointing towards this being real. I've seen other people cover this, but they don't cover the aspect of it that I think is the most interesting, and that is the actual real proof that we have that's popping up in other areas that's pointing towards some of the aspects from this rumor. Now, if this rumor ends up being real, and, these things that I'm going to show you here end up being real, then that is the most fantastic thing I've ever, I've ever seen, because that would be freaking awesome. So, let's actually jump into the actual information here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start with the rumor itself. So, here it is. This was posted on 4chan, of course, and the person was just an anonymous person saying, screen cap this, in parentheses, legit, or, in whatever, legit. So, let's see what we actually posted here. This is it. Believe it now or later. And one of the first things he said here was that Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield will, I guess, be the names. He said the region is going to be Great Britain, which it ended up actually being. Though the weird thing is, though, it doesn't include, like, all the areas from Britain. Like, it's kind of, like, condensed, which is normal. Also, I'd gotta say, I love how, the eyes are just, like, closed there, because that's how my eyes feel right now, because I just, I've been just non-stop, sitting here, just organizing everything. Legendary Pokemon are Metal Snake and Wooden Horse. Now, this is what's strange, right? Because I'm assuming it's not going to be a metal snake and a wooden horse, but there are other people who have been able to dissect and make really good theories about that being an actual possibility. And I'm going to cover those theories later today. I've got like about 4 videos planned for today, so don't you worry. Now, here's the actual part that I think could prove that this is a real rumor, and this rumor is actually legitimate, and that's armored evolutions. So he said here that there's going to be armored evolutions for Pokemon, and I really think this could be the perfect gimmick for these games. Now, you guys may remember, I talked about in the past, like, I've talked about the, the fact that there's going to be some sort of brand new gimmick. I mean, there is going to be a brand new gimmick for these games. In one way or another, they're going to add some sort of brand new thing that you can do that's going to be able to, evolve your Pokemon, change it. In some way, there's going to be a change to the gameplay in one shape or another. For example, let's just take an example here. X and Y, it was Mega Evolutions. Sun and Moon, it was Z moves, right? All these games recently have something brand new to them. And if you look at the logo of, of these games, there's actually a tiny weird little logo inside of them, like a tiny little, like, weird thing, specifically in the Japanese ones, and the Korean ones, and the Chinese ones. But on the English one, there's a weird thing that usually isn't in the Pokemon logo. It's like a weird circular little, like, thing, which looks a little bit like Meltan's, like, little eye. And considering Meltan is, like, literally made out of metal and consumes metal, there is a possibility here that Meltan is going to have something to do with the armored evolutions. There is a chance that he's going to have a connection there. Maybe Meltan was one of the Pokemon that was actually used to make, metal for these regions. Remember, we know now that the Galar region is based on the Great Britain. It's based on the UK in general, right? We've got a little bit of, like, a Scottish area. We've got a little bit of, we got the rest of, England. We've got some aspects that, connect to Wales, but, it's very much like, it's there. We know where it is. We know what it's based on. And you got to remember that this was one of the first countries to go through the Industrial Revolution. This was also one of the first countries, when it comes to making swords and shields and all that sort of stuff, and also wars, they were really involved. Like, they went through all that shit. So it wouldn't be surprising if this region used Meltan as a way to evolve Pokemon into a stronger version, a armored evolution. I mean, that is genuinely one of the coolest things ever. And I'm going to talk about why that might be a possibility in a second, because there is actually a hint. There is potentially a hint, guys, which people haven't seen, people haven't talked about, but, like, thanks to you guys, the viewers, you guys freaking found this, one of you guys found this, so I thought it'd be fun to share this, because nobody else seems to be talking about it, but there is a hint, potentially, towards this in the new trailer for the Pokemon Sword and Shield games. Now, he mentions here which Pokemon might be getting armors, you know, to them. And he says Armored Charizard, Armored Mewtwo, Armored Flygon, and Armored Zeraora. Now, Armored Charizard, there is actually an image I could show you about, you know, how that kind of looks like. Armored Mewtwo, we already know how Armored Mewtwo kind of looks like from the, you know, Mewtwo Strikes Back movie. There is also already an Armored Mewtwo kind of, you know, in that. Armored Flygon, I'm not sure how that's going to look like, but that makes me excited because Flygon never got attention during Mega Evolutions, but an armored Pokemon, you know, Flygon would make sense instead of a Mega Evolution for it, you know what I mean? Like, it actually kind of lines up really good. Armored Zeraora as well here, which is interesting. That one is really strange. And then here he says also that Meltan ties into Armored Evolution and Legendary Lore. So that, you know, that explains things a little bit there. And this gets me a little bit intrigued. I'm probably going to have a Ultimate Theory at one point once we get a bit further into, you know, into things. Probably gonna have an ultimate theory kind of breaking everything down for you guys and just going through all these aspects one by one. Now, next thing here, this is a connection here. So this was posted by PokeExperto, saying new collection of figures from the movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It's called Pokemetal Mascot EX, and figures to be revealed by Mewtwo for sale in June 2019. And you'll notice here, if you look through these, it's just normal, you know, it's just normal looking Pokemon. It's from the Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution movie. And then you'll see right here, it says Armored Mewtwo in katakana, and that was strange for me because I assume they're referring to Mewtwo when it's in wears its armor, which is interesting. And somebody here says, was this leak legitimate? Damn. And it's not certain. Just because there's going to be, you know, just because Armored Mewtwo, quote unquote, is maybe in this movie, you know what I mean, that doesn't mean that it confirms the rumor. But there is something else that could confirm it, guys, which I'm going to bring up right now. So just prepare your eyes. So, ladies and gentlemen, right here. So guys, quick insert here, quick insert into the video. Apparently this has been talked about by other people. I was going to mention in this, or I do mention in this video, that this doesn't get mentioned by other people, but it actually has been seen by somebody else. Some other YouTuber has covered it. But there's so many people making videos on this stuff right now that I can't even keep up. And also, this isn't the only rumor about this exact, like, you know, about Sword and Shield that's out there. There are other rumors that are older as well. So please do keep that in mind, guys. This has been talked about by somebody else. I claim otherwise in the video, you know, at some points, which I do apologize for. Either way, enjoy the rest of the video though, and here's the explanation of what this actually is. You may not, you know, notice this, but look right here. So this is an image, and I'm going to open this right here so you guys can see it. This is an image from the Sword and Shield trailer. Now, I'm going to take off my face cam here so you guys can look at this, you know, just straight up on the screen so you can see what we're looking at more, so it's easier to understand. But right here, you'll see the female trainer inside of the professor's lab, the lab of the professor from this region. And back on her, back on the professor's, like, you know, little whiteboard over here, you'll see right there, it's a whiteboard. There's this. Now, notice this. This looks like a shield and armor right there. Shield, like some sort of armor shield. And there you go, you got Charizard's head. This, to me, looks like a straight-up hint that there's going to be some sort of evolution or some sort of change to Pokemon with probably the help of Meltan even, maybe, to actually make Pokemon into armored versions of themselves. Versions that, you know, wear armor and, you know, that's the general gist of it. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at how it's actually set up here. And considering the fact that the actual rumor itself originally said here that Armored Charizard was the first one mentioned, like Armored Charizard specifically, it wouldn't surprise me if this is one of the hints it's actually making, you know what I mean? I mean, look at that. It's straight up, that's how it feels like. Like, that's how it feels like. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to know what you guys think about this one. Do you think this is an actual hint or not? I think it is. I think this is the first hint we've gotten now of this actually being a thing in the upcoming Pokemon games, that armored evolutions will be a thing. So, yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about this one. So, this is a big thank you to your boy Breezy here on Twitter. So, Breezy was the person who found this. Nobody else had talked about this yet, I think. And I think he was the first one to actually send this out and, you know, mention this. So, shout out to Breezy, man, for finding this. Like, major shout outs to you, dude, because I did not see this in the trailer, and Breezy just sent this my way and said, hey, check this out, and it's bloody fantastic. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is that about that. Now, next thing to actually talk about here, I want to just quickly bring something up. There is a Pokemon movie, which you guys may remember, that came out a long time ago, called Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. So interestingly, that movie was related about, you know, well, the mystery of Mew, and during that movie, there's actually a Pokemon War. You'll see right here the animation from that. There's a Pokemon War in this movie, and in that war, you can kind of see Pokemon wearing armor. Like right here, you can see you got Blastoise, you got a bunch of Tyranitas, you got Onix, you got Nidoking, you got Skarmory right there. You got a bunch of Pokemon wearing armor, as well as here you got like the actual human knights with swords and shields, ladies and gentlemen. Swords and shields. And do remember that the Pokemon movies, they also kind of sometimes give us hints for things to come. That's just happened in the past. You got right here Charizard in armor as well, and you got a human in sword and shield, and armor as well. Down here you can see the clash between the Pokemon armies, like the green army and the red, the red and the green army, just clashing into each other. And I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, straight up, it just looks, right on, Rhyhorn down there as well. I think, yeah, and also like a freaking Aggron as well, and a Houndoom. It's crazy. There's so many of them just clashing into each other. And right here you can again see, the human soldiers in their, shields, with their shields and their swords and their armor. It's straight up right there. You know what I mean? Sword and shield. It's right there, ladies and gentlemen. So I think, we can definitely probably expect something like Armored Evolutions if that rumor is real. I mean, it seems like it is being hinted at right here in this image, from the actual game. So it feels like it is actually being hinted by the fact that it's showing like this, circular looking shield looking thing, and then Charizard's head there, kind of, to point out that, it's going to be able to evolve and gain some sort of shield or some sort of armor on it, which would make total sense, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for watching. My name's been RuffledRowlit. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then drop a like down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.